You've apparently got this whole coat thing backwards.
I may have overreacted.
You definitely overreacted.
I knew you'd meet me halfway.
It made me think. You only snap on one subject, losing people. So I went back to the intel. It's true there's only one doctor named Gonzalez at New York Mercy, but there's a Javier Gonzalez who's a nurse in the psych ward. Now, who could you lose who'd end up there?
Maybe the reason I don't always open up to you is because it's redundant.
Daniel Wilson. Once you get a name, it's amazing how much stuff you can learn on the phone. I mean, if you're a doctor and you lie freely. I found your brother sleeping in the lobby of an office building in Manhattan. Got aggressive when they asked him to leave, and the cops took him to the Mercy psych ward.
There have been new antipsychotics developed since he ran away. He's been on them for a couple of days, and by tonight, he should be in shape to talk to me.
But you're not sure if he wants to.
I'll be in New York in a few hours. I guess I'll find out.
Why wouldn't you tell me this?
House, you and I, we don't have the normal social contract. I don't expect you to tell me the lies that...
I am fully capable of lying to you. I've lied plenty of times.
I mean collaborative lies. Giving someone a hand who maybe needs to deceive themselves. Just a little. For 2 days, I've been thinking about how Danny's gonna react when he sees me. If I said that to anybody else, they'd say, "Don't worry, it'll all be all right." You wouldn't.
Because it might all go horribly wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it might.
In which case, you might want some company. You told me you saw your brother once after he disappeared.
13 years ago. I used to go to Princeton whenever I could. I must have hit every homeless shelter in town. Then one day I'm just sitting at this deli having a sandwich. I look out the window, and there he is. He was gone by the time I got outside.
That's why you were so eager when I told you there was a job in Princeton. I thought it was just my charm.
That's the team. Shouldn't you answer?
They already texted me to say they're doing something stupid. Spell correct on Cutner's phone. It's got a hair trigger. Either that or the patient has a cyclone in the floral of his lungs. You took a walk in 45-degree weather and you left your coat behind.
Go ahead.
I think you were punishing yourself. I think you wanted to feel what it would be like to be homeless in a New Jersey winter. That tells me guilt. And tells me something happened.
The schizophrenia started when he was a teenager. When he was in college, he was on meds, but he'd still think a professor was out to get him because he got a B, or he'd fight with his roommates because he never showered.
Where were you?
Med school. He called me every day, talked for hours. I didn't have hours.
Interesting. Later for that. Go on.
I was tired of being the guy that everybody counted on. So one night, Danny called, crying, upset about something. I had to study for an exam. So I hung up. Took my things, I went to the library, but wouldn't have to hear the phone ring.
I wonder how that turned out.
My mother called me the next day. Danny had run away and left his meds behind, which I knew meant that he would never be able to choose to come back because he'd be so detached from reality.
So you made your one effort to live a normal, selfish life, and the universe immediately smacked you down. And because we're wired to find meaning in semi-random events, you decided never to be that careless again.
You don't think that's a little facile?
Actually, I don't. I think you did it consciously. You developed your people-pleasing talents the way an Olympic athlete develops his muscles. Talk about an overreaction to a single event.
It was a pretty big event.
Hanging up the phone? That's what you're blaming all this on. That's the behavior you've been trying to correct. As though nothing else went wrong in your brother's life. Of course, he overreacted too, but his glucose was normal.
We're not talking about my brother anymore, are we?
His house. AVMs don't explain his glucose.
Since this is a significant moment in my life and all, I
Yeah,
think I'll just go in then.
explain that.
Right.
Giving him steroids, his glucose should have been elevated. That wannabe cyst you found in the whole body.
I saw your face shining my way, pure timing.
You okay?
I'll be seeing Danny again next week. I'd like you to meet him.
Sure. Sounds interesting. Go on.
I thought seeing him again would change everything. It would be wonderful or terrible. Instead, we're just strangers. It's kind of anticlimactic.
Which is better than terrible.
Go on.
Does it bother you that we have no social contract?
My whole life is one big compromise. I tiptoe around everyone like they're made of china. I spend all my time analyzing. What will the effect be if I say this? Then there's you. You're a reality junkie. If I offered you a comforting lie, you'd smack me over the head with it. Let's not change that.
Okay.
No, see, this... If you were implementing the social contract, you'd say that, but only because it makes me feel better.
It is kind of fun watching you torture yourself.
Do you think things will work out with my brother?
No. When it does go wrong, it won't be your fault.
Thanks, House.
You do actually like monster trucks.
Absolutely.